Hi everyone, Jen here for Country Craft Creations with you. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys something that is super fun that I've been wanting to create for myself for a long time. Excuse me. And this Life is Beautiful inspirational paper collection from Country Craft Creations exclusively is perfect for what I'm doing. So what I'm going to be making is a crafty planner, junk journal type of thing for myself so that I can keep track of projects that I'm going to be doing, videos that I want to post, that kind of thing. So this is the collection. It's absolutely gorgeous and full of all these fun inspirational quotes. And I'll just show you. So I have had these in my stash for a very long time, so I'm not sure that these are still available. They're made by Momenta. In the package, they say the Explorer Journal Ruled Journal Refill, 4.375 by 8.375. Now, like I said, I don't know if these are available anymore anywhere. You may have some of these. People have stuff in their stash just like I do. You can either buy some of these off Amazon because they do have some blank ones. I did not see any with the calendar pages, the weekly pages like this, but there are plenty of other options out there, and you can also make your own. You could print out some calendar pages and make your own little books using the craft cardstock. But those are what I'm going to use. And I've also cut apart some of the cut aparts from the paper. I have some different inspirational quotes of my own from my stash. Jane Davenport, Dina Weekly Media, just a couple different things there. And I did some fussy cutting from the paper as well. So what I'm going to do once I have everything together is I'm going to do some stamping. I've pulled inks in these colors here, the archival inks, and some different inspirational stamps that I also had in my stash. If you have stamps, it's a great way to embellish these little books. So I wanted to make a cover for these, kind of like a travel journal. And what I've done here is I've cut two 5-inch by 9-inch pieces of the lightweight chipboard. I did not want the heavyweight for this. You could do it in heavy if you wanted it a little thicker. And then the papers for the lay flat method are 7 by 11 for that. And then my spine is going to be 2 inches. So it is 2 inches by 9 inches. And the paper for that for the lay flat is 5 by 11. So I'm going to put this together, the lay flat portion of this. And there's lots and lots of tutorials on how to do the lay flat method. So I'm going to put that together, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to decorate this and put it all together. Okay, so I went ahead and did the lay flat method with my spine and my 2 pieces, and we get this fun little book here. And when this is done, it'll be 5 by 9, just so you know. I'm sure I said that before, but instead of putting a normal regular sheet of paper on this, to save on the bulkiness, I'm going to use some of the paper from the collection. And if you cut this at 8 7/8 or 8 3/4, depending on how much space you want at the top and the bottom, you can leave it at 12 and it will fit here perfectly. And this is going to be my lining because I'm going for really bright colors. This collection is absolutely perfect for this planner that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my glue. Actually, I'm going to put some score tape on the outside of this first. So on this back side, I am going to run score tape around the outer edge. The glue will be to enhance that. I want to make sure this sticks nicely. So I don't want to use just score tape, but I'm going to use both. Hopefully I'm getting in the camera here. And like I said, I'm just going to go around the edges and one across the middle as far as the score tape, just so I get a nice stick initially. And we're going to put one down this side. And then right about where my spine is going to be. I'm going to put the paper down so I can, excuse me, put the tape right about where that spine is going to be, just for a little bit more added strength there. I'm going to add a couple pieces there. Okay, and then I'm going to use glue for the rest. Go around and burnish all that tape down. Okay, now this is going to go here, so I'm going to glue this side here first, and then I'm going to peel my tape off and peel it back. So I'm going to put glue all in this area here, because I want to make sure that I get a really good stick. I go all the way over to here. And I'm going to peel this first edge off all the way. And then these two, I'm actually going to peel them back. Show you what I mean here. I don't think I burnished that tape down good enough there on the corner. I'm just going to peel this back and fold it over just a little bit. Both of these, until I get it straight on my book, and then I will pull those out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this, I'm going to add some more glue where the tape is too, just because, again, I want to make sure that this gets a really good stick. Yeah, make sure I'm in the camera. And I'm going to line this up. And the way I have mine cut, it's going to leave just a little bit of that black showing, that black artisan, which is what I want. Sometimes it's not as easy to line everything up. That's why I put the glue on there too, because it adds a little bit more to it. I'm going to grab my larger smoothing tool here and get all that out. And then I'm going to peel these two pieces back. I meant to pull that back part way, not the whole way. Dropping stuff. I'm going to peel the two off that are for the spine. And I'm going to, again, add a little glue to where that is. And there's probably a much quicker, easier way to do this. This is just how I do it. Just make sure everything looks as straight as I can get it. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel, once I have it straight, I'm going to go ahead and add glue to the rest. Peel this one back. I got the dropsies today, I guess. All right. And I'm going to lay that down. And I did not get that perfectly straight, but that's okay. We're going to have pockets and stuff that'll cover my little boo-boo there. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute on that side before I start burnishing down my score line so that that can fold. I'm going to use the smoothing tool, though, down the middle. Just make sure all that glue is adhering with the tape. Because you want your paper to be pretty well dried down before we start any kind of bending. Because you want to make sure that you don't end up ripping your paper. And I don't want to do that. So, see, you can see I'm getting a little bubbling here. I need to make sure that all that glue is down. And look down in, I like to look down inside of mine and just see if I have any more bubbles. And I don't. smooth this out nicely one more time with this. And then I'm going to burnish these with this. It's a little bit softer. Get them out, popping holes in my paper. But that's the last thing I want to do. This paper is so pretty and so vibrant. I just love all the colors. All right, and you can bend your book over gently on both sides just to make sure. And do it, like I said, do it gently so that you don't bust your paper. So that is going to be the inside of my little crafty planner / junk journal. Now that I have that, what I want to do next is I want to add my spine piece on the back, my colors, my paper, because I'm going to punch holes for our stretchy string for the booklets to fit in. So for that, I have cut a piece of, and I'll get these colors for you. This is my colors, both of these. And I'm going to add the purple first at 1 7/8 by 8 7/8. Then I have this Tropical Splash, my colors, 1 3/4 by 8 3/4. And that will be this one. And then I cut this piece, which I absolutely love this part. This one, I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't. This last piece is going to be 1 5/8 by 8 5/8. And that's going to go on there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all that down to my spine. And I want to do this because I want the holes to go through all of the paper. And I'm going to be putting grommets on here as well, so that it's nicely finished. Okay, so I've got my purple down. And I'm going to do the teal. Tropical Splash. And these two colors of my colors cardstock, like I said, I'll get the purple one for you here in just a sec. I forgot to keep the sticker next to me, so I knew the color. But I have more, so I can take a look and make sure I give you the right purple, because it goes great with this Life is Beautiful collection. And so does this Tropical Splash. So the purple is... Grapevine. My colors, Grapevine. All right, and then last I'm going to do this one. I just love all the vibrant colors, and when I was going through and cleaning my craft room, I found those booklets in my stash. They've had it forever, and I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to make my little crafty planner / journal, because I need it for myself to keep myself on my toes as far as what I've got lined up for projects and such. And I love having that. And I can add other stuff to it too. I can put, you know, friends' birthdays and stuff in there if I want, but it's mainly for my my crafting. All right, so next what I'm going to do, I've already marked an X across here. So what we have is a 2-inch spine. And I'm going to put 3 holes on each side. So I want to mark, I'm going to use my 0 on my Tim Holtz ruler here and line this up right about there. And this will tell me if I have my X's in the right spot. And I'm just going to take, hopefully this pencil will show up. I want to go that first line here, and then on the 0, skip a line and go over. If you're using the Tim Holtz ruler, this is the Easiest way. Otherwise, from your patterned paper, I went in 3/8 of an inch, then 3 more eighths of an inch, and 3/8 of an inch from this side, so that they're lined up in the middle. You can do it any way you want. You can put 2, you can put 3. I'm doing 3. And then I just want to do the same thing at the other end. I want to make sure that I line my ruler up and it's the exact same. So I know where that middle is. And on this one, I went in about 1/2 of an inch. So at about 1/2 of an inch is where I want to start marking my parts to put my grommets. 1/2 of an inch. Seems kind of low to me. Let me see here. Well, here's my 0. Gonna go over 2 lines and over 2 lines. And that should line up, but let me just make sure. Yep, okay. This is where I'm going to punch my holes, and I'm going to use a Crop-A-Dile for this. If you don't have this, you can use a regular hole punch. It will work as well. But for me, I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile here. And I got to find my own little marks. We have our holes on both sides lined up. Next, I'm going to start decorating from the inside. And for that, I wanted to put pockets. So I'm going to put 3 pockets on one portion so I can stick stuff in here. And before I do that, I'm actually going to put some black artisan cardstock on this page. Just because I think it would look a little bit nicer than this in the background completely, but we still get that fun little spot around the outside. And I'm going to make that be, I'm going to say 4 7/8 inch piece. No, we'll do, I'm going to do 4 3/4 by 8 3/4. Okay, so what I decided to do was take another piece of the Tropical Splash, my colors that I had, and cut it down to 4 3/4 by 6, and I'm going to put that above, and then you'll still see that fun pattern all the way around. So that'll go here, and then I will be placing these fun pockets, and I just wanted that above to kind of break up all that color. So I'm going to put this pink pocket, this green pocket, and the striped pocket. And then I'm going to use one of the fun little cut-apart die cuts to embellish this a little further. I may even put a strip of this on there. The more color, the better with this, because I just love this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down first. Just going to kind of center that, leave some of that really pretty paper underneath showing. And as I say with all my projects, if all the bright colors of the Life is Beautiful collection are not what you want on yours, you can use anything you want. You could use the By the Seaside collection, and that would make a beautiful travel journal if you were going on a beach vacation. Just to memorialize those pictures and memories would be beautiful. So now, as you can see, this is going to go, and it's the same size. So what I've cut here, these 2 pieces are 5 3/4 by 3 1/2, and they will be scored 1/2 inch on both sides, 1/2 inch across the bottom, and then the corners on the bottom were mitered. Okay, and then I'm just going to add. I'm going to grab my envelope punch board. So that I can make a notch in my pockets. So this is 4 3/4. So I want to go to 2 3/8. Okay, that would be the middle, and that's going to be the first pocket. I'll go ahead and get these ones scored and ready and show you how I did that. So we're going to do this on the 5 3/4 side, 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch, and leave that top, and then just miter your bottom corners right at where they cross those 2 score lines. Do the same thing with this one. Go 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch. Miter my corners again. And set this aside. And then while these are flat this time, I'm just going to go ahead and go in at, I'm going to turn, folding this side. If you're doing it before you glue these together, it's a good idea to turn it this way. Turn your first 1/2 inch one in so that you don't go over your middle. So here's that one. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one over and bring that back up to that 2 3/8 mark and punch. And now I have notches in my little pockets. And we can add them in the book. So first I want to decide, I think I'm going to put the pink one on the top. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. I always decide different things at the end when I start putting things together. So I'm just going to add glue to my 1/2 inch score lines, those 3 or 1/2 inch scored flaps. And then I'm going to place that up fairly high. You have 3 pockets, remember. So I'm going to place this all the way up, almost to the top of this. I mean, almost to the, yeah, I don't need to, you don't have to do 6 inches here. I just did for added strength, I guess. I'm not quite sure why I made that so big. You don't have to, because we're going to layer our pockets. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Add some glue to my flaps. I can't wait to get this together and use it. Although I may not use it until the beginning of the year, just so I have a nice new planner to use. Okay, I'm going to burnish that pocket down. And we're basically just layering these, and I just liked the way having that little bit of that tropical splash, my colors. If you're good with pattern on pattern on pattern, I just did it to break up some of that pattern, but you can do it either way. You can use a different color too, whatever works for you in your book. Get my last one ready here. Yeah, I'm going to place that one down almost all the way to the bottom. I want to see a little bit of this paper, and I want to make sure it's nice and straight with the one above it. And there we go. So now you have all these fun pockets that you can put stuff in. So what I did off camera is I added the eyelets using my Crop-A-Dile, and I added some stretchy cord in here to make it like a travel journal. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my book away, and I am going to pull out my fun little notebooks. Now, like I said, you probably don't have these exact ones, but they do measure 4.375 by 8.375, and you can purchase blank ones on Amazon. There's tons of them. And this one has, that I have, has some lined paper in the back. of each one of the calendars so you can fill it out all yourself. And I'm going to do some fun stamping and different stuff with mine. So first I want to cover these because I don't like this blank craft showing on the outside. So I've cut a couple different ones here. And what I have, this is my covers and such. What I have decided is that I am going, like I said, I want this really colorful. So I'm going to put a piece of this on this. And I did cut these the same size. So it's very little of that craft is going to show, if any. If I can help it, I don't want any to show. And then I'm going to take a piece of the paper. I'm going to use this one for this one. And it was just a scrap I had left over. And this is going to be 1 inch. And for mine, it's 8 1/4. And I am going to score this right down the middle at 1/2 inch. And this is going to be my cover for that spine area. So I'm just going to go right down at 1/2 inch. And just kind of bend that so it works. And I'm going to lay these papers down first. So I'm going to do this fun one here. I don't do a lot of planner stuff. I know the planner craze is still pretty kicking, but I just don't normally do it. I did do it for a while, and I just found it honestly to be not for me. So, that being said, I just prefer to make my own like this. Then I can do whatever I want with it as far as what paper goes on it and how I want to embellish it, whether I do it with stamps or stickers or however I decide to make this work for me. Like I said, I like it a little messy, so this is going to be kind of like a junk journal as well. I'm just going to get all that glue. And like I said, I have cut mine so that it covers that entire cover, okay? And then I'm going to put my back piece on. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other 2 inserts that I have. I'm going to be doing different paper, but I'm going to line this all the way up to this left edge here on this side, and all the way up to that top edge. And I'm not going to worry about anything hanging over in that spine area because I'm going to add this piece here. So I'm going to get that burnished down. And then I'm going to close this book because it's kind of rounded already. These books are pre-made. You can also make these yourself with some craft cardstock, but because these are pre-made and they were sewn, it's a little stiffer, the little round area. So then I'm just going to take this and make sure I have it right side up, and I am going to glue this and wrap it around that spine area. So I'm going to hold on to my book, and you can see this is not completely flat, but I just want to wrap this around, and it'll be a little tricky with mine because like I said, this is pre-made, so I need to, and I didn't quite get that right, so I'm going to do that one more time and add some more glue. And I could probably use score tape to get this to stick a little faster. That's an option. I'm going to just glue one side first. Put that on there right lined up with that paper. And then I'm going to flip it over and see if this works out a little bit easier. And I'm going to put glue on this side. And pull that up. Yeah, that worked out a little bit better that way for me. So if you're using a pre-made one, I would do it like that. And then you can get all that paper burnished a little easier. A little more glue here. Like I said, I could have used score tape to get this to stick a little faster. but I did not. I'm just going to take a bone folder and just make sure that that is adhering all the way down and see if there's any spots that need a little extra glue, and there is. I don't know how long I've had these in my stash, but I'm glad that I found them when I cleaned. It's amazing what you find in your craft room when you start cleaning. So I'm just going to give that a nice good burnish, and now you can see it. Isn't that pretty? That's so much better than what it was. So then I'm going to grab one of my fun little cut aparts here. Not that one. I had one cut here. Just gotta find it. That one would work. I could put that one on there with some purple paper in the background just for an added. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this lovely little blue background. So this is a cut apart, actually from the 8x8 that I have here, which is not available currently on the website, in the store. So this one measures 4 by 2 and 5/8. Well, let's do that again. I'm going to use my colors, the Tropical Splash. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so let's try this one more time. So I'm going to go with 4 1/8 by 2 3/4. So 4 1/8. Go a little over. And then I'm going to go down to 2 and a little bit over 2 3/4, just a little. And now, as you can see, I'm going to trim the bottom of this off. It looks like I missed a little when I cut this cut apart out. And that'll make a big difference too. So then I have it just like so. All right. I'm going to glue my cut apart to the Tropical Splash cardstock first. And I'm not choosing to ink my papers for this. You could very easily. Black would look really nice because I have a lot of black in here. And I think I might snip this end over here off just a little more. I feel like it's a little whiter on one side, so just play with it. That's the whole fun with crafting to me anyways. I'm going to even this out just a little bit over here. That's better. Okay, so now I have my piece, and I want this on here. I might put it right in the middle. I could put it as a pocket, or I could even put it on the inside as a pocket. And I think I will. I think I'm going to put this on the inside here and just adhere it as a pocket. So I'm going to adhere it by just adding glue on 3 sides, one of the long sides and the 2 short sides. And I am just going to place this all the way at the bottom of that page. I don't mind the craft so much on the inside as I did the out. I'm going to burnish that out, make sure I'm in the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And then once that is all nice and dry, that'll become a fun little tuck spot. I'm going to add some fun stamping on this page to make it a little more personal. I'm going to grab some die cuts for this one. Let me see, what did I do with my die cuts? They must be on my tray still. Grab those. There they are. So you get these die cuts with the collection. Oh, I also have this fun butterfly strip I wanted to use somewhere. All right, so for this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere somewhat of a belly band to this to make it even prettier. I'm going to grab one of these fun, inspirational, saying die cuts. Just going to have to pick one here and see which one I like the best. There's Love Yourself, Beauty Inside. I'm looking for one that's a little Good things take time. That one's kind of cute. I mean, they're all cute, but I think I'm going to go with this. Never Stop Dreaming. This one goes really well. Well, yeah, let's go with the Never Stop Dreaming. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to figure out where I want this portion of my belly band, because it's going to be the bottom. Yeah, let's do a different one. I think I want to do a long one like this. Yes, this will work. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take the top of this and I'm just going to add glue right to that end. And place it about 3/4 of an inch of the way in from my cover. Make sure it's nice and straight, which will be difficult because we're not putting anything at the bottom yet. Once you have that down, we are going to do the same on the bottom of this one. And I'm also going to add glue just to where this is. So I want to add glue in here in the middle. And I'm just going to put some glue right at the bottom there. You can do it either way. You can put it on the die cut or you can put it on the page. I am just going to do it on the die cut for now. Line that up. Make sure we don't get any glue. You might actually want to take a small piece of paper if you're worried about the glue sticking under here, and just burnish it out so that place it under where the gluing is so that it does not glue it all the way down. And see, now this way I can stick something in here if I wanted to. Super fun. So that is the first one, and I feel like this is just not. I'm going to clip this while it dries, so it dries in where the place I want it. Pull this down tightly and clip the other end. And that is our first book decorated. Not quite finished yet. I will do some stuff on the inside of that as well. So next I'm going to do another one. I need to figure out where I put them all. Aha, here we go. So I'm going to use this paper on one, and then I have this one all cut out. So this one, I need to do my 1/2 inch scoring for my spine piece. It's that 1 inch by 8 3/4 inch, or excuse me, 8 1/4 inch for mine. Now you may be using different sizing on yours, because like I said, mine are pre-mades. So you could either make them just like mine and make them that 4.375 by 8.375, or adjust your measurements to fit what you're making. This one I chose the hearts, and I just want to open this up and make sure that I have it right side up before I start adding paper to it. I'm going to do these hearts. On the front and the back. And I think this time, to make this a little easier to line up with the paper, I am going to grab my scoreboard really quick here and put it up here so I can use it as a guide. I'm going to place this, again, make sure I'm right side up. Yes. So this will be my cover. And I'm just going to use my scoreboard to guide the paper to the edge so that I don't go over that edge. And there we go. If it goes down a little bit more on the bottom, it's okay, because I can snip that off a lot easier than not having enough paper. So I'm going to try to burnish that edge down as well as I can on this one. Being rounded, again, it's not the easiest, and it does look like this one might be a tad bit shorter. It is pre-made, so the manufacturer might have got this just a little off. So I'm just going to bring in my scissors, and I am going to snip that excess off the bottom of the page, because it's fine everywhere else, just that bottom. Got a little extra paper. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with my back. I'm just gonna pull this out and line this up on my scoreboard. I love these hearts. I like the colors, all these bright colors on this paper without even having the inspirational quotes that are amazing. It's just cheery, and I like that. Cheery is good. So we're probably going to have to cut some off again of one of the ends because it, like I said, it looks like when they manufactured these, they didn't get the measurements exact. And that happens. Burnish that down as good as I can and see. Yep, see, we've got excess. Trim that out again like I did the other one. And everything else looks good. And I'm going to add my spine piece again. And like I did before, I am going to put this in like so. Glue just one side for starters. I think that's enough glue. I don't want to run into that problem again. I'm going to slip that underneath there and line it all up. Again, it might be a little bit longer. Yeah, it is. I will have to snip off just a little bit here. Okay. Snip it off. And I have that. So then I'm going to go ahead and add my glue to this side. Add a little extra in there so that it adheres nicely. And I'm going to pull it up and bend it over. Just like that. This one seems to have gone on a little crooked, but it's quite all right. I don't mind it at all. No, it's not crooked. It's just the paper. It's an optical illusion because it's a crosshatch. I just got more on the front of this one than I did the back. And that's okay. I don't mind at all. I am doing this in somewhat of a junk journal style, so it does not have to be perfection by any means. So for this one, I cut this Not All Who Wonder Are Lost. I like that, but I'm going to put it on the other one, and I am going to put this one on here. So I am going to put this on the paper first, and this is one of the cut aparts, which was cut to, for me, it is 3 by 4. So this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the purple paper first. And this time I'm going to put it on the outside as a pocket. Put that on there nice and even. Burnish out all my glue. And then this will go on as a pocket. And I'm trying to decide if I want to add a strip of something. And I think I do. So I'm going to look down here at my stash of scraps. The more color, the better on this for me, anyways. I want it to be really, really vibrant and colorful. So I am just looking at what I have. Bear with me for just a second while I look in my scraps. Oh, hey, we've got this pink here. Yeah, we'll do this one. I like this. I'm going to cut this down, though. First to 8 1/4. And let's check that because remember, yeah, I'll have to trim it a little, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to do 1 inch of the paper. And my paper moved. I hate that when that happens. So I'm just going to go to 1 inch. Let's see how I feel about that. Yep, that'll work. It's a little bit fat. I think I'll use the other side, which technically is not a full inch. It's 3/4. So I'm going to use that one. I like that side better. All right, get my cutter out of the way. And this, I think, I'm going to put this on the back, and this is going to be a pocket. Like I said, I'm kind of doing this as I go. So I'm going to glue down these 3 sides. Oh, there's the sticker. Let's take that off of there. I thought I had taken these off. Carefully take that off. Okay, 3 sides. So down that bottom, smaller, and then up the 2 long sides for this one. This just becomes a fun little tuck spot. If I want to stick a bookmark or a reminder for something or a ticket, anything, I could put it in here. Just so much color and whimsy with this paper. Oh, that is off. There we go. All right. So now I have that. Now, if I wanted to add this pink little strip back here, I could, just for some more color and embellishing. And I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it on the green side, I think. I like the green side. So I'm going to cut this, glue this down. And I'm not gluing all the way to the top, you'll notice, because this is going to be a little long. And I want to make sure that I can trim it. And I'm not doing this one as a, whoops, that's upside down. I'm not doing this one as a belly band. I'm just going to do it for looks. You could do it like I did the other one and make it a belly band if you like. For me, I just want this added color. Get as much of this color as I can from this paper. I'm going to flip this open. As soon as I burnish all that glue down. And I could wait for it to dry, I guess, but I'm impatient. So I'm going to take that out. And I am going to snip that excess off. That is why I didn't glue it all the way to the top. Just make sure that's all down. And there's our second book. Now I can do something with the inside of this, or I can leave it. I haven't decided yet, but that would be book number 2. And then the last book is another one with the lines. It's still in my package over here. I kind of wish I had one with the dot grid, but I don't. So I'm just going to do 2 of the ones that are lined paper. All right, this is my front. I am doing this paper for this one. And let's just see ahead of time if this is going to be too long. And maybe not. This one might actually, like I said, they put these on some sort of a machine, I do believe, when they make them. And sometimes their measurements are a little bit off. I find that with a lot of pre-made albums and notebooks. So always measure what you have, or be prepared to snip any excess off. All right, so I'm going to line that up in there. And there we have that one. Should be 3x4, but it is 3x4. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of the Tropical Splash. 3 1/8. Normally I wouldn't cut from that long of a piece, but I did. And then 4 1/8. So I'm going to go over to 4 1/8 and trim that down. Okay. And I'm sure I can use that piece still for something else, so not too worried. And that should fit nicely on there. And it does. And this will eliminate needing that extra little band. You could do that too. Adding stuff is totally up to your imagination and what works for you may be different than what works for someone else. So all right, now I have that together. I'm going to grab my book, double check again that I have the front, and I'm just going to put this on here as a looky-loo. This is not going to be a pocket either. This is just for looks. I can do another one as a pocket on the inside if I want. I want this kind of offset. I don't want it right dead center in the middle. It looks a little more artistic to me if it is not perfectly straight in the middle of the book. All right, so there we have that one. That is our 3 little notebooks. Super fun. I'm going to take these clips off and show you that we can actually slide another piece of paper in here. You could even put this blank, well, not that one because it's too wide. You could slip tags in here, anything that you want. You could put this down more with tuck spots, but aren't those pretty? I mean, they're just so vibrant and so much better than the plain craft that they were. So I'm going to set these aside and then we will decorate our cover. All right, so for the cover, we've already got our spine done. I have already got everything cut out over here. And what I am doing here, this is my front. I have my colors in the purple, cut to, I do believe, 4 7/8. Let me just double check. I usually write on them and I didn't. Yeah, it's 4 7/8 by 8 7/8 because the teal Tropical Splash will be 4 3/4 by 8 3/4. So we'll start with the purple. I'm double matting this just for more color. Center that on there pretty well. And clean it up. And then the 4 3/4 by 8 3/4 teal piece. Sorry, it's called Tropical Splash. I keep calling it teal. It's not really teal. These are actually my 2 favorite colors, purple and any turquoise or teal. Those are my 2 favorite colors. So that was why I loved that this paper had both those colors in it and could so easily be paired with these My Colors cardstocks and the Artisan Black cardstock for that nice crisp look to create this. And it's so cohesive. Okay, so then I have my Tropical Splash mat on there. I'm going to go ahead, now that those are both on there, and just grab my smoothing tool and just make sure I don't have any glue bumps. Make sure it's nicely burnished. And then for my cover, I'm going to do a 2-piece. This is the back, so we'll be doing this on the back. My cover is going to be this gorgeous cutaway from the paper that says, "Into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." I love that. I could also turn it over if I wanted to, but I am going to do this side. And that's the top portion. So I only cut this. You'd want to cut this to, let me check the width when I get this down. And then whatever height you want, you can separate your pieces when you're paper piecing to any height or length, kind of like I did the blue on the inside. I want that border around there, so I'm going to lay that down. And this, for me, measures 4 5/8, and then I did this at 6 1/2, but I'm probably going to, or excuse me, 6 3/4. No, 6 1/2, but I'm probably going to be overlapping what I put on the bottom, so bear in mind that you don't have to go as low as I did. I just wanted to see as much of those gorgeous trees as I could. So then I have the fun stripes down here that I had cut. But now that I look at it, I don't know that I like them as much. And I have this fun butterfly strip that's going to go right on there. Yep, that works. So I'm going to put my little piece for the bottom. And this will be the same width as your top piece and however long you need to cover your paper. And you should be able to line that up nicely with both those mats. If you wanted less of the stripes, if you're doing this to show, you could overlap this on this. And then I have that fun little strip of butterflies that I just adore. And I'm going to take those. And those are going to go right at the top of those stripes. So it neutralizes them a little, but they're still there. All right, so there is that portion. Easy peasy. Next, I am going to do the backside, which I have again the My Colors in that purple, and then the My Colors Tropical Splash, and then I have this for my back piece. And I probably will actually put this, I have to use this, "Not all who wander are lost" is just one of my favorite quotes to use, so I have to use it. I also have those fun fussy cut balloons, the air balloons, hot air balloons that I'm going to put on here. So I am going to take a look at something and I will be right back. Okay, so I have the first two. I have the mats on my back. And what we're going to need to do now is I need to put a grommet in here for the pole to wrap around the book to close it. So let me do that really quick, and then you can see how I do that. It's a little difficult on camera just because my crocodile is quite large. But I want this right about the middle of my page. And we know this is 9, so I want to go to 4.5. And 4.5 is going to be right at this point here. I'm just going to make a little mark there for myself. And I like to go in about 1 inch of space from the edge for this. Just grab my crocodile so I can try to get it on camera. It's not super easy. So I want to put this back to my 3/16 mark. And I'm going to slide this in up to that mark that I made at about, it's very difficult to see when I'm on camera here. I want to go in, yeah, this is very difficult to see. Wish there were an easier way to show you how to do this. So I put my hole right about the middle of my page, and then I am going to place, because this is the reason for doing this, is I don't want to see this, so I'm going to put the patterned paper on top of our mats with this underneath. So now I have my little grommet there. I'm going to move this to the setting position, and I'm going to put my book in there, right over that little spot. Like I said, not the easiest thing to see under the camera. So now you can see we have one there, and I'm going to cover that with paper, and we'll just pop a hole through for the to show. If you don't mind that metal showing, you can do it the other way. I just don't like that showing. So I am going to first place my paper down, which is this piece. Okay, and then we're going to place that down. Leaving some of that fun tropical splash showing. A little bit off to the side more. I got that a little off. There we go. I don't need it perfect, but I do want to see it all the way around, so. All right, then we're just going to go to the other side of this, and I'm simply going to take a pokey tool, and I'm going to poke a hole right through there, and that will tell me where my thread needs to go. And then I am going to take something like the tip of a pencil works really well because of the shape, and I'm going to go in from this side, hold this up, and push it down and just kind of twist that pencil, and it's going to push that paper in to the eyelet so you don't see all that ripped paper. See? Easy peasy. And then I will put my piece in that wraps around the book, which is stretchy black cord again, like we use in the middle. And I'm just going to turn and make this, I'm going to tie this in here in a slip knot. It's the easiest way to do it. This is probably going to be too big, so I'll have to adjust, but this is how we would do it. And this just slides in here, and it can come in and out. There's no worries there. And this will wrap around the book to close it, just like so. And that actually isn't quite tight enough. I probably will make that a little smaller. So then, as you can see, once this is done, I have all my cords in here. I can choose which one I want to go first. And I think I like the blue. So I'm going to put the blue one in first. Go right there to that middle. Bring that book in there. And then I'm going to go with this one. Right in the middle of the page. Slide that one in. And then the last one, which is my calendar. I probably should have put that one in first, actually, but just for the sake of video, we'll leave it. Okay, and then that all closes up, and just look at all that. It's so fun. And I have all of this fun planner now that I can decorate further with stamps, with stickers. I'm going to add some of these fun cut aparts to some of the pages in the books, and that is that. Super fun and super bright and colorful. I just love this, and I will use it. So thanks for joining me, and I hope that you make one of these and you get this paper if you don't already have it, because like I said, if you are a crafter that loves color, this collection is for you. It's just beautiful, vibrant, and very inspirational with all the fun quotes. So have a wonderful, wonderful crafty day. Thanks for joining me on my channel.